Okay, welcome everyone. We're nearly ready to start. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so I'm not sure how many people we're going to have coming in with us today. I'll let people in as they arrive, but we need to start on time. So we'll be starting now. Someone's there. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. You might want to pop your video on. I can't see you. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I'll just stop the screen share for a minute so I can, yeah, my video's on. Okay. All right, well, we'll get started. There might be others come along as we are going along. So I am recording this. If anyone has a problem with that, if you can just let me know. It just means that I can use it for other purposes if I choose to along the way. So just let me know if you would like me not to, if you'd like it not to be recorded. You can pop it in the chat box if you've got a problem with it. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. So my name's Jodie Campbell. I am a naturopath and I help people who have a background of stress and trauma to balance their hormones and ultimately lose weight. And weight for me, I work with people in a different way with weight loss. We have a lot of body shaming going on in mainstream health. And I feel that, you know, unless we've walked a mile in someone's shoes, we can't really understand why that person has got to the point that they're at. And it's never simply a case of just eating too much. There's usually something going on in their body, their mind, that actually causes them to have the health problem, and it's a health problem. Okay, so today I wanted to share with people about what you can eat for a vibrant life and eating for pure energy, ultimately. Many people struggle from day to day with their energy and are waking up in the morning feeling absolutely exhausted, like they haven't slept for a month. And there are reasons around this, but there's some things we can do through our diet to actually help us to manage our energy better. Excuse me, coughing. I get a bit of a dry throat. Okay, so if I can get my screen to actually, yes. Okay, so as I said, my name is Jodie Campbell. I'm a naturopath. Prior to being a naturopath, was a nurse, and I have 30 years nursing experience. So I've seen a lot of people with all sorts of different health conditions and things. Having said that, being a nurse educated me in nursing, and I did, you know, biology and human behavior and all that sort of thing in that process. But they didn't teach us a lot about diet. They didn't teach us a lot about pathophysiology ultimately. So I've learned a lot more as a naturopath in that area. So welcome to a life-changing workshop. This information is information everybody should know, but very few people do know it. We're going to discuss how to improve your health and your happiness through the power of food. So are you feeling truly alive? And living is what we're meant to be doing. Are we feeling like we are truly living? When you're eating the right foods for your body, you will feel your digestion will be better, You won't feel bloating that many people experience after they've had a meal. You won't have bags under your eyes. You'll have fewer wrinkles and clearer skin. And you will have ultimately have more energy to be able to do the things you want to do in your life. What happens when we don't eat well? The body cannot metabolize foods properly. So our metabolism has to be able to break food down, and then we have to be able to turn it into nutrients so we then can use those nutrients in our metabolism. And if we can't, if we're eating the wrong foods and we can't break it down properly, or we inefficiently break it down, it's useless to our body ultimately, and we're not getting the nutrients that we require. So if you're not eating the right foods and you're unable to metabolize them properly, the resulting effect is that you'll have weight gain, you'll have food allergies, anxiety, depression, mood changes, belly bloat, irritable bowel syndrome or constipation, low energy and reduced stamina, and also reduced sex drive. What if there's a solution? Which there is. We don't have to feel like this. So eating for pure energy. So I suggest adding to your diet whole foods. And that's when I say whole foods, it's shopping the outside of the food of the supermarket for fresh vegetables, fruits, meats. And the only other aisle that you might go into is the nuts and seeds and oils aisle. But apart from that, everything else can be found in the fruit, veggies, and dairy meat area. So things like leafy green vegetables, avocados, they're full of healthy fats. If we look at an avocado, there's a belief in naturopathy back in the very beginning of when naturopathy first began, way before medicine, back in when Hippocrates was around. And they believed in the foods that we eat for the particular area of the body that they nourish. And if you look at a avocado, it is the shape of the womb of a female uterus. And all the other likening is the male testes. And that's why it's got the good fats in it. It's good for our hormones. Our hormones need good fats to be able to produce healthy hormones and good hormones. We also need good fats to make the cell walls that go around our cells. So if we're not eating enough good fats, we will have poor cell integrity, cell wall integrity, which will affect our cells functioning. And we will also not have healthy hormones because we don't have enough fats in our diet. And the unfortunate thing is that we've been through a time in history where eating fat was actually seen as being unhealthy, and it was seen as being leading to cholesterol. And in recent years, we've got really good research now that indicates that if you have a problem with cholesterol, it is more likely you have a problem with producing energy from carbohydrates than it being a problem with eating fat ultimately. Because how we produce energy impacts how we metabolize our fats. So healthy oils, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, they're all available readily in your supermarket aisle. Healthy fats include your flax seeds, your chia seeds, your hemp seeds. They're all full of healthy fats. And coconut water is also very good for us as well. So the basics, you will have heard the saying, you are what you eat. Well, it's exactly right. You are what you actually eat. It's the same as fueling your car. If you put diesel fuel into a petrol car, into a petrol engine, what happens? And we've all done it to our lawnmower in the past, I think. It blows lots of smoke. Okay? If you put the wrong fuel in, you get the wrong fuel out. Interestingly, if you put sugar in your petrol tank, you will seize your motor. That's very interesting, considering that's sort of what happens to us as humans. So Ditch your processed foods. If you're eating lots of packaged foods, and I think the start for many people in the day is breakfast cereal. So if you're getting up in the morning and opening a box and pouring that into your breakfast bowl, you need to really consider, is that a good start for your day? Because ultimately, breakfast cereals are highly processed foods that are in general not good for us. There are some of them which are a little better that are less processed. So, for instance, be plain old rolled oats. But if you're opening a packet and pouring your rolled oats into a bowl and adding a bit of water and popping it into the microwave, I would question whether that was actually rolled oats or processed oats that are, porridge that's, mix and heat type arrangement. So you need to be making your foods from scratch. And that's porridge that is rolled oats. It's for a reason. The more we finally break it down, the more surface area it has, the quicker it's digested. Okay. So the more natural it is in its natural form, the harder it is for our body to digest it with a slower amount of time. The more fiber that is involved in it, the more benefit you will get out of it for your own health. And it means the endosperm and things like that in the actual grain are still there. So forget the foods that promise you a miracle in a box or a bar. So those muesli bars that you pick up in the supermarket and think would be great for the kids' school lunchbox probably aren't such a good choice ultimately. And if you start to become a bit of a detective and read the backs of the labels, you will notice that they're filled full of things that you wouldn't really want your children to be having. So really think twice. They were sold as a health food. They are still being sold as health foods, but they are not really health foods. So eat foods whose ingredients you can pronounce. So be a label detective. Look on the back of the label. If it's got so many ingredients in it and you cannot pronounce them, it's probably not a good idea. And you don't know what it actually is, it's probably not a good idea to be eating it. And what I tell my clients is go for products that have less than 4 ingredients. If they have more than 4 ingredients, they're processed highly and you probably don't need it. Keep your blood sugar stable. So really super important. Your blood sugar is so important. And in this modern world we're in, diabetes has become more and more of a problem. And diabetes and insulin resistance are being, type 2 diabetes is what I'm talking about, are being diagnosed younger and younger. So we have children now who are being diagnosed with diabetes, with type 2 diabetes instead of juvenile onset. So the difference between the two is type 1 diabetes is young juvenile onset and you have no insulin being produced. So unless you inject it, you cannot actually make energy because you can't process sugar. And you'll go into what they call a ketoacidosis if you don't get treatment. And that's life-threatening. Type 2 diabetes is different because your pancreas can still produce insulin, and there is another problem going on that your cells are resistive to that insulin that's being produced. So it can't actually get the sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells. Your pancreas over time, because you have a constant high blood sugar level, becomes lazy or tired ultimately. And the islets of Langerhans that actually produce the insulin become fatigued and you have less insulin being produced because it's running out basically. So we need to keep a really healthy blood sugar balance to try and make sure that that insulin can do its job and get into those cells and do what it needs to do. And that's why this information is equally as important as for you as it is if you have a young family, or if you have children that are older, you can maybe share this knowledge with them so that they can, if they've got young children, start to make sure that they are feeding young children diets with good, whole foods. We don't need to restrict carbohydrates in children because children just need lots of that. But what they need to be doing is getting the right sort of carbohydrates ultimately. So we sort of eating 6 small meals a day or 3 meals and 2 mini snacks is ideal for reducing blood sugar. imbalances. So it actually helps. And if you're in my Facebook group, Healthy Habits, you will see yesterday I did a presentation for the group, a Facebook Live, and you can go in and have a look at that on insulin resistance. And it will actually explain to you what we're talking about here, where we want to keep, I've drawn some little graphs where we want to keep an actual stable blood sugar level so that you've got a balance in your blood sugar levels. So having those small meals means you're getting sugar released and fats released into your bloodstream on a continual basis, rather than having big spikes happening and then you having to release insulin to get the sugar in a big spike as well. By stabilizing your blood sugar, you will increase your energy, you'll ditch your sugar cravings, and you'll no longer crash and burn at 4 p.m. And I think any of us can relate to that. You know, you might be at work or doing something, you've had your lunch, everything's going fine, and at about 3 o'clock you just crash, and you're crashing because that sugar has got released into your bloodstream, the insulin's gone in, it's got rid of it out of the bloodstream, and your cells are saying, hey, I need more energy, I need to make you more energy, but I don't have any sugar in the bloodstream to make that energy. And of course then your energy goes down because you don't have that, and you want to go to sleep basically, or you start yawning and feeling really tired. So high energy meals and snacks. We eat foods that are low in glycemic index, such as quinoa, flax seeds, half cup of berries with cinnamon to reduce your blood sugar. So wonderful herbs like cinnamon, spices. Cinnamon is fantastic to add to desserts, to add to porridge in the morning. It actually has the ability to balance blood sugar and sensitize those little insulin receptors. It's a very special spice. So adding it to things is always an awesome thing to do. And they've done some studies, and there is some research available on this. So make a green smoothie, and when you make a green smoothie, instead of adding a banana, because normally you'd make a yellow smoothie, it'll be a banana smoothie, you can add some avocado and then add maybe some berries and things like that, and that makes an awesome smoothie as well. Is really yummy. So eat fat with fruit to reduce your glycemic index. So the theory around this is when you have fat combined with carbohydrate, the fat actually slows down the release of that carbohydrate into your bloodstream. So the release of the sugars into your bloodstream. So, you know, if you're having some berries, putting a dollop of cream, and when I'm talking cream, I'm not talking runny cream that you get in the supermarket that you just pour out and it pours out, or you have to whip it to make it thick. I'm talking the good quality real cream that is separated with not very much milk left in it, so that it has a much higher fat content. That is good quality cream. Okay, so putting a dollop of that on top of your yogurt, on top of your fruit, will help to slow down that. And if you're coconut cream, you could use as well. That's quite high in good fats, so that type of thing. Okay, and my top tip is to eat food in its most natural state. So the more natural it is, the more real it is, the better it is for your body. Okay, the more processed it is, the less real it is, the less you know about it, the worse it is for your body. Superfoods equals super health, ultimately. So in recent years, we've had a real increase in superfoods. We've begun to find out more about some foods that in the past we didn't know as much about. And, you know, they will help with increasing your energy ultimately. So some of these favorite foods that people enjoy, my particular favorite one in this list is raw cacao. Absolutely love it. If you haven't tried it, get some. They're called nibs, cacao nibs. You normally get them in the health food aisle in the supermarket. I'm a Christmas pudding fan. I don't know if anyone else is, but Christmas pudding is my favorite food at Christmas time. Obviously, I don't eat it any other time of the year. And I'm gluten-free, so now I need to have it gluten-free as well. So it is a bit of a challenge. those cacao nibs taste to me like Christmas pudding. I absolutely love them. They are delicious. They are the rawest form of chocolate, ultimately. So when the cacao bean is picked and they dry it or whatever, they crush it up and you get this beautiful cacao nib that tastes divine. It's got a real fruity flavor to it and it is just delicious. They're quite hard though. And then the next step is when you get raw cacao, and that means they've ground it down to that brown powder that we use, and we make hot cacao and things like that. And then the next form from that is further refined, which is cocoa, that we know as cocoa, hot chocolate. Okay, so sea vegetables. So when we talk about sea vegetables, we're talking about your kelp, which is, or nori. Exceptionally healthy for us. They is full of iodine. We don't get much iodine in our diet. Most of our diets are very deficient in iodine. You know, the Japanese eat lots of the nori and they don't have thyroid issues. We have thyroid issues because we don't get that wonderful iodine rich diet that they have. So coconut oil is amazing. It's an incredible oil because it actually has the ability, it's antifungal, it's antibacterial, it has the ability to, we can actually help us lose weight, believe it or not. Adding it to things, you won't feel hungry if you're having it. It doesn't change its structure. So most oils change their structure when they're heated. Coconut oil does not change its structure when it's heated. It is in its purest form. Always make sure if you're buying it, you buy it solid. It must be solid. If it's not solid, they've taken some hydrogen carbons out of it to make it liquid. It is no longer good for you. Okay? So only solid coconut oil. It's readily available in supermarkets now. If you're doing, stir fries, things like that, it's the best oil to use. Throw it in and it's great. Some people don't like the coconut taste of it. So you can actually get it where it's had the coconut taste removed. So that's an option if you find that coconut taste too much for you. Okay, and the other thing is grasses like wheat grasses. Oh no, I've gone too far. Wheat grasses, barley grass, spirulina, all great fiber for your gut. Contain chloroform, not chloroform, chlorophyll. That It'd be terrible if it contained chlorophyll, which is got lots of really good things in it for us. So wonderful to add to smoothies, things like that you might like to add. You can add your coconut oil to smoothies. You can add bee pollen to smoothies. You can add your raw cacao to smoothies as well, and make something super delicious. So eating whole foods and superfoods does not have to be boring. Okay, so how can we do this? How can we because in this modern world we're in, where we've got McDonald's, KFC, pizza, and it seems like all these things that are so readily available, you just pop through the drive-through and you can just pick up whatever you need, or you can ring Uber Eats now and they'll bring it to your home. You don't even have to leave your home, which means it's really bad. You don't even have to do any exercise to go and get what you need, ultimately. How can we live in this society with all of this stuff around us, but still be able to enjoy our modern society, but actually still have a really good diet that's healthy for us? And I'm a big advocate of this because I don't know anyone, or I would be concerned about anyone that was going to say, well, I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to have a meal. I'm not going to join some friends and do some fun things in the park and get some takeaway. That would be sad to see that happening. We've got to live this world. We've got to enjoy both sides. So what we need to be doing is thinking about nourishing our bodies. How can I nourish my body? Okay. And if we're crowding out the bad with the good, we're going to have a fairly good result. And if we change the bad to being a little bit, they're still bad, but on a little bit more healthier side, then that too can make a difference and we can still enjoy those things. So when I say that, I am saying the McDonald's burger or the KFC or the burger or the Hungry Jacks that you so much desire, don't have the bun. It's pure sugar. Okay. ask them, can they wrap it in lettuce for you or add lettuce and give you a knife and fork? They will do it. Okay. And because I've been gluten-free for so long, I've gotten used to this anyway. So, just tell them what you want. They will do it. All right. The sad thing is you're still paying for the bun whether you get it or not, and they charge you more for lettuce. But, at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's about your health. What's 20 cents now if in 10 years' time you died of a stroke? It doesn't make sense. So you might as well be doing the right thing now to help you in the future. Things like chips and things, yeah, we love them. Occasional food only. We just say they're occasional food only. They're a treat. The problem with them is they're cooked in seed oils. The seed oils are rich in omega-6. Yes, omega-3 and omega-6 are important in our body, but we need to have a balance. And what's happened is we have so many oils that are being sold to us and our food is being prepared in them that are cooked in omega-6 oil that we actually are getting an imbalance between omega-3 and omega-6. So most people are getting a lot more omega-6 than they are omega-3. And it should be the other way around. We need lots of omega-3 and only a small amount of omega-6. And when that balance becomes out of whack, that's when we get inflammation. So really, really, important stuff to think about. So in with the good. We want you to have lots of water, drinking lots and lots and lots of water, keeping yourself hydrated. You need at least 2 liters a day. I don't mind personally if you get that by drinking plain water, or if you get that by having water that is made in your cup of tea. Okay, if you don't have a water filter, it's likely that you may well be better off with it in your cup of tea than you will be drinking it out of the tap. When I'm saying tea, I'm not meaning caffeinated tea. I'm meaning herbal teas. Okay, so try and avoid caffeine if you can, because caffeine dehydrates you. It's okay in very small moderation, but ultimately it has a dehydrating effect on the body. Foods that are rich in vitamin D, such as cod liver oil, fish, oysters, eggs, mushrooms, yogurt, and kefir. If you don't know what kefir is it's milk that has been, we add the kefir grains to, and it actually causes a process of fermenting, a bit like yogurt, and makes the kefir. And you can add it to, you can make smoothies and do all sorts of things out of it. It's readily available in the supermarket to buy. So you can try it and see if you like it or not. Cod liver oil has always been quite disgusting tasting, and it's an old, I know my grandmother used to talk about giving cod liver oil. I used to get a teaspoon every day of cod liver oil. So you can get it in capsules and things these days. You can get it without having that really yucky taste. So there's lots of different options there, but they're all really good, high in vitamins. Okay, sorry, I'm just stopping for a minute. There's a chat there. Yeah, hi, Mary. So my camera is not working, but I can see and hear you. Yeah, you use spirulina in your smoothies. Awesome. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's okay. I understand if you've got to leave. It's a sort of a tricky time of day. I'm going to actually, if I've got your email address, I will send you a copy of the whole thing so you can see the rest if you like. I might pop a link up to it in the Facebook group if you're a member of the Healthy Habits group. Okay, so foods that are rich in vitamin B are your whole grains, your dark greens, your leafy vegetables such as spinach, fenugreek, lettuce, cabbage, asparagus. Foods that are rich in live enzymes and healthy bacteria such as your raw foods and your kimchi and things like that. So they're your fermented foods, kombucha, all sorts of really, really, and yogurt, great foods for your gut. Oh, okay. So now we're into caffeine, which I've already talked about. It's an energy robber, so you don't want it. Okay, it's going to take your energy away. Foods that you are sensitive or allergic to, Toxicity in food, unwanted pathogens such as yeast and bacteria and parasites, not getting enough sleep, negative emotions are all effects of those foods that we have that rob us of those energy. Sugar is a really big one. So reduce the toxic load of your body is really important. The body can be depleted by toxins and foods we eat that rob us of energy. Doing a natural, safe, and effective detox will help you reduce the toxic load, which means more energy for you. Now, I've got a really super thing at the moment that I've got up on my, I don't know how long I'll have it there for, but if you go to my website, www.verdure, V-E-R-D-U-R-E, naturopathy.com.au, you will find a link there to do my detox, 7-day detox program, which is a healthy hormone reset for free. So you can pop in there and do that. Everything you need to do it is there. You don't need to buy anything else. It's all fresh fruits and vegetables. So hop in there and don't miss out, because that's actually $200 value for free. Okay, so here is the solution, a gentle detox, and you know where to get that. I just told you about it. So eat natural foods that are in season, hydrate well, including lemon water elixir, which is just, making up some lemon water and having that instead of plain water. Use daily detox tools to enhance your lymphatic drainage, your liver detox, and support the detoxification pathways. In our liver, we have two pathways of detoxification. We have phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is about turning the toxins into a water-soluble form that the liver can actually then do its work and excrete. Phase 2 is about excreting it. Okay. And both phases, and some of us will be better at one phase than the other, that type of thing. And that's what we as naturopaths do. We work on trying to improve phase 2 or phase 1, all that sort of thing. Want more energy. So you want more energy. How can you get more energy? Superpower energy is yours for the taking. If you support your body with foods that give you energy, you will soar. Your energy will go through the roof. If you tackle emotional energy robbers, then you will also enjoy an increase in energy. And I personally have done this, and I can do the things I want to do now. And I do have the energy, where I remember back 15 years ago when I had no energy at all. Just getting out of bed was a struggle. So my top 5 tips: eat lots of healthy greens, drink more water or coconut water, get active. Sweating is great to detox your body. So every time we sweat, we're actually detoxing. It's awesome. Reduce your sugar. It creates inflammation and robs you of minerals. If you have a problem with sugar, jump in and do my no sugar challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, and we can get you off sugar. It is free. Just pop over to the Facebook group and join it, and you can either do it as you like, or you can join in the challenge that I do every month, and I'll be putting up when that's starting today or tomorrow sometime. The next one, I do it monthly. Relax. Stress reduction is really important, even if for just 5 minutes. It just means 5 minutes a day to meditate or breathe deeply are so important to help us learn how to relax. And supercharged energy. If you want supercharged energy, then you have to eat the right foods and get the right support you need. I'm here to help you. Okay. I have my Shake Those Kilos program. It has everything you need to get the weight off and increase your energy. It is absolutely fantastic. It is easy to follow, and I've got lots of ladies doing it, and they absolutely love it. There's 2 pathways. You can do a ketogenic pathway, or you can do a low carb pathway, a low fat pathway. So it's so many options, and you get weekly visits with me. It's just awesome. Are you ready? If you think that you're ready and you'd like to give it a go, you can pop over to my website and book an appointment. And you can actually, your first appointment, you can book for free, so I can explain the program to you, and you can make a decision from that, rather than feeling like, oh, I'm paid for something I'm not sure about. So I want you to be sure when you start. I want anyone who comes onto this program to be sure when they're ready to start, because it's as much a value for me for you to get a great experience out of this than it is for you to get an awesome experience as well. So I give away my first appointment as a freebie, because at the end of the day, if you sign up, that's absolutely fine. If you don't, that doesn't matter as well. And that's all I've got for you today. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of this. The work I do, I absolutely love. I love to see every single one of you achieve the goals you achieve. And it just inspires me to go on and do more and more things. And I've got my membership happening. I've got a new program coming out for PCOS balance, which is for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So there's some absolutely awesome things happening, and I just feel so privileged to have the opportunity to help people to have happiness in their lives and live their life in a different way, and have the skills and knowledge that I missed out on when I was younger to know how to actually improve your health. So all the best for a wonderful weekend, everyone. And I will pop a link to this in the group so you can watch it again if you like. I'll just check your message there. Chat. No problem, Mary. No problem at all. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Bye.